Welcome to this special episode of Give Voice to Your Vision. We are hosting these profitable presence expert panels this week in celebration of some resources that we're providing. And I'm so excited and honored to have the featured experts that we have today. This is the first of 3 panels. So if you're here, welcome. Tune in for a minute, come back, share with friends. We are talking about being visible in a way that is connected to the truth of who you are, activating and elevating your presence in the biggest sense of the word, from strategy to technology to inner game. And how can that not only elevate your business and your income, but your profitability? How can you leverage your unique energetic presence in your business through your message and your calling for the greater good of all, including yourself and your thriving business? Because your thriving business is going to reach and serve more people than you will ever know. And I have a collection of lovely humans here today. And so we're going to do a quick round robin. I'm going to ask you guys to tell people who you are and what you love to do, how you love to serve. And then we're going to dive into some powerful questions that are going to help people to really share. You're going to get to share your insights and help people to answer questions about what's working right now in the very rapidly changing world. What kind of internal or external shifts have really helped move the needle for you? And how do you decide where to show up? And is it going to actually move that needle? And then we'll dive into a little bit about the gift that people have access to for the next week or so. So welcome. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I'm keeping an eye on our waiting room because we may have others join us. And I'm going to start in the order that you guys arrived. Welcome, Leisa. Will you introduce yourself and say hi?
I'm so excited to be here. I'm Leisa Reid, founder of Get Speaking Gigs Now and the CEO of the International Speaker Network. And what I love to do is help entrepreneurs who know deep in their heart, deep in their soul, that they want to use public speaking to help attract their ideal clients, but they aren't really sure what they should speak about. What does that whole look like? How would they actually get booked? Where would they find these stages? How would they make money? How would they, all the questions that follow.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to welcome another panelist to the stage. Hi, Virginia. We're just jumping in to do some introductions. So you'll be third and last right now until our other panelists arrive. Welcome to Virginia. I'm glad you're here. So
Thanks.
Terry, will you say hi and let us know who you are and who you serve?
Thank you so much for inviting me to the panel. I'm Terry Wilderman. I'm the founder of Intuitive Leadership and Shiftology. And my passion is working with high-level entrepreneurs, CEOs, and executives who have reached all of their goals and wake up in the morning and put their feet on the ground and go, oh my gosh, what's next? I feel like something is missing, and they can't quite figure out what it is. So they are my ideal clients, and they're the ones who I love to work with.
Welcome. So happy that you're here. And I know the depth and breadth of what you do. So I'm excited to have you here with us. Thank you. Hey, Rosie, welcome. Say hi.
Michelle. So I am Rosie Batista, and I help entrepreneurs who have a gift to share create a system using a structured and organized system using their content in a very unique way. I call it a system because it's organized, structured, it's easy, it's effective, and it's actually in the format of a card deck. So it's really a valuable tool to get your creative energy going, to get yourself clear on what you're sharing, and to have something to, a tangible product in your hands to talk about, to sell, to serve with, and all of that.
Beautiful. Awesome. So glad you're here. The power of a card deck. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Welcome. Virginia Parsons in the house. Hi. So glad you're here. Say hello. Tell us who you are and who you serve, how you help.
Hello. I'm glad to be here. I'm Virginia Parsons, and I'm the founder of Media Spotlight Marketing. And I serve emerging entrepreneurs who are really timid. And you know about this, Michelle.
I do.
Seen, getting seen and visible so that they become unforgettable to their ideal audience. Mm-hmm. And I do this in a variety of ways, but primarily right now through my Visibility to Prosperity Marketing Mastery System. So
perfect.
I'm excited to share some of the things that help people step out and get live.
I love it. I love it. Thanks, Virginia. Welcome, you guys. So we're just going to dive right in. I would love to have each of you weigh in on, what is profitable presence? What does that mean to you? And specifically, how have you shifted or evolved your approach to your visibility that leads to profitability in the last 6 months or a year? So Leisa, will you jump in?
Oh, we could probably talk about this topic for hours.
Yes.
But we'll keep it short. One of the things I had mentioned earlier, I'm the CEO of the International Speaker Network, and I've had this group for over 10 years now. And so it's evolved and changed over the years. And it actually started as a network so that I could attract other speaking referral partners, but then it actually led me to creating the company Get Speaking Gigs Now. And when it comes to I can't even say it. Profitable.
It is a tongue twister. We should have all done our warm-ups. I should have let a group warm up. Profitable presence. Profitable presence. Say it with me.
I find that a lot of times people think by being busy that they are being profitable.
Right.
100%.
And so when it comes to where I'm spending my time or where I'm recommending other people spend their time, it's like it's about results, but it's also about how I feel when I'm somewhere and who I'm attracting. And so you can look at the facts, and then you can also look internally at, okay, this is how I feel when I'm somewhere, whether it's a virtual space or a physical space. And so, and the other thing is that we want to expand it. So we created you said, what have I done in the last year? We launched an affiliate program for that network so that other people could be empowered to invite others and be profitable by attending, by being members, by inviting their friends. They could also be profitable by being present in the community. So
love that. Nice. Thank you. Terry, what do you think?
Well, profitable presence to me is about owning who you are, owning your inner power, attracting people instead of chasing people. When you keep chasing people run away. They don't really want, but when you stand in your power, you attract people to yourself. And when you do that, and when your energy is, when you're strong, centered, grounded, people want to be in your presence. People want to know more about you. They want to understand, what is it about you that makes you special? How can you help me grow my business? And for myself, I realized over the last 20 years, one of the things I've always said in coaching, and I've been coaching for almost 25 years actually, but specifically in the last 20 years, I've said to the entrepreneurs that I coach, it's important to have a product, because when things happen, you can you can respond to that. Well, hey, what about, physician heal thyself? I didn't have the products that I wanted to be able to really get out there to create the profitability that I wanted, because I was a caregiver. So when you're a caregiver, you often don't have the time to be able to give and create that profitable presence, because you're tired, you're exhausted. So what did I do? I created a product, and Rosie Batista underneath is key to that. She helped me create 5 card decks that are part of my Shiftology success system. Beautiful. And that now is launching. And thank you, Rosie, from the bottom of my heart. And it shifted my energy to as grounded and centered I may have been in the past. Now I really feel like the foundation that I have, it's not mushy. It's like concrete. And it's strong, and my business is reigniting in a very strong way where it can become profitable because I'm attracting just the right clients.
I love it. And you guys are both, Leisa and Terry, so far. And by being here together, you're illustrating the power of having a system. You're illustrating the power of knowing where you're headed and creating a revenue model. And you're also, especially Terry and Rosie, who have been working together recently, are illustrating the power of being supported, investing in the right support, having enough of the right support, all of which I think are more and more crucial. I think so many people now are tired of buying all the different little things or piecemealing it together, or buying the one big program that's supposed to give them everything they ever hope to have in a year. And they just don't have enough of that customized one-to-one or small group, really a deeply aligned mentoring. So just pulling from some of the highlights that we've already pulled from this wonderful, juicy crowd of masters. So thank you guys for being here. How about you, Rosie? Profitable presence. What does it mean to you, and how has it evolved in your business recently?
Yeah. So to me, it's really being so excited about what you do that you're contagious. So when you're sharing, you're excited, people are saying, wow, they are noticing what you do just because, you have this energy around it, and it just invites others up to do the same. Just then you don't even have to do anything. And it's also like you spoke to something about having that clarity around like knowing what you're doing to serve someone, that you're so sure about it. You're confident, you're clear, and you're confident. And then, everyone understands. There's no confusion. So
it's so powerful. It's so powerful to know where you are, to know your words, to know your system. Again, it's so grounding. And you know what? That happens through the implementation, right? Through like putting things together and selling them. Mic drop. Okay, you guys, like, you don't make money if nobody buys anything.
Right.
And your profitable presence is knowing how is what you're doing actually leading to the impact and the income that you want, right?
Yeah.
So that's,
and I think what you said too, Michelle, I think I'm finding that more and more people are like, they don't want to just like watch modules and do something. No. They want that. They want the, individual attention, the structure, the accountability, and the like, someone that's going to move them forward, and they know they're going to get to a finish line somewhere, because then you really have something substantial. And you're not throwing money away and wasting it. Like you have a plan, and you're following through with it.
And enough of the right support to do it, right? Yeah, I love that. Really good, really good. Card decks are so tangible too, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So fun. It can be, I think people are burnt out on the myth of the modules being the thing. I think it's kind of a rare unicorn who can actually even do all the modules, right? And so that hybrid approach and having, like I said, enough of the right support is so key. I love it. Thank you. Yeah. Virginia, how about you? What's shifted in your world? What's profitable presence to you? And what have you been shifting or seeing in your world lately?
Oh, it's such a big concept, really, because people don't start their businesses thinking about, well, how am I going to get profitable? They really don't, even though they want to make money. You start a business, I would say
entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, those of us in this service space, the solo, it's a myth, don't do it, solopreneur, but other businesses might think about it. But in this service exchange space that we're all a part of, we don't keep going.
Yeah. So I think that one of the mistakes that is made as a result is that people are intimidated actually to make their offer. And they don't, when they're starting to get visible, which is what and I we both are so passionate about, is they may not begin with the end in mind. They may just think, well, I've got to get out there. And if I get out there enough, people are going to buy from me. But no, there is a system that people need to implement. And it's not rocket science to do it, but it is something that you have to engage in and do systematically, so you don't get caught in what I call the marketing maze of exhaustion and overwhelm. So I always say, start with the end in mind, and then
reverse engineer.
Yes, it is. So that you will attract the perfect ideal people who resonate with you. So those are my 2 cents on it.
I love that. It's so important and so powerful to know. And we're afraid of that. It's uncomfortable. We don't know what to charge. We're not clear on that process. And so, rather than doing a whole bunch of things, dialing in, each of you have touched on a way that your business has either helps people or is, looking at that system so that we know where we're going. And I toyed with, do we want to call this profitable presence? I often talk about visibility to profitability and prosperity, prosperous presence. And prosperity is the whole kit and caboodle. But
Yes.
a business without, I chose that word intentionally, but to push a little bit on the edge of profitability. It's not, it's not just like enough to get by. It's not just enough to like get some clients, but like, how much do you, what do you want to step into? What do you want to create and hold for the world? What's the transformation that you're here to bring? And thinking about profits. I chose it. You pulled that forward, Virginia, so beautifully that it's often not something that we want to think about or feel comfortable thinking about. Mm-hmm. So thanks for bringing that forward. Anyone want to like comment on other things or feel like a burning desire to clarify before I go to our next question? This is our first panel. I'm just
really good.
Tuning in. Awesome. Okay, great. So next I was wondering, I have to get back to my questions because I get so excited. What is one specific shift that you have made in your business, you are making? Could be an internal shift, could be a strategic shift. Some of you have touched on some of your strategies that helped you go from just being visible. I call it scattershot visibility, right? Visible everywhere, but no clients, 10,000 followers and no clients. What's one specific thing you want to highlight or that you've experienced inside or out that's helped you shift from I need to be more visible or just get more visible to creating profitability? Leisa, you want to start?
Again, so many ideas, so many thoughts. But for me, I think, and this is something I work on with my clients in our Speakers Training Academy, is coming up with what I call a monetization menu.
Nice.
A lot of times as a speaker, the biggest issue I see is that the speakers don't have, especially when we're in the healing space, the heart-centered space, the purpose-driven space, we might forget to give an offer or don't even have an offer. We spent so much time creating our talk, we forgot that we sell and get clients. So again, back with them, double down on that reverse engineering.
Yeah.
But sometimes not, if you only have one offer, it might not fit the venue or the context of what you're talking about. So I like to get our homework done well beforehand. We don't want to stay up late at night, and the printer broke and we ran out of I grew up in the 80s.
That's called stress speaking. That's the stressed out speaker program.
I don't sell that anymore. But no, it's really about like, let's intentionally decide that. And I think mine evolves and changes over time. Like I start with one thing and I go, try that out. And then, okay, let's keep moving and adding. So there's all these different types of things that I think can go into a monetization menu.
I love that monetization menu. If I were more dexterous, I'd be typing little things in our banner. But I'm going to try and focus. Terry, how about you? Internal or external strategic shift that you've been focusing on?
It's actually both for me personally. It's about trusting the timing.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
The bottom line for me. It was trusting the timing, because there were many times I was I was very frustrated because I was, again, in the caregiving role, but I wanted to go to networking and wanted to do this and wanted to do that. I own my own leadership center, and my parents lived in another state, and it was just this constant rush. And it was trusting the timing that if I let go and allowed myself to be fully present in the moment, everything was going to fall into place. Well, it did. And the caregiving book and that part of my life, all of it is closed. The book has closed, not the chapter, the book. Oh. So that part of my life is now done. I am starting a brand new book, and it's so exciting because now I can really focus both internally and strategically to be as profitable as I choose to be.
Nice.
Without having a lot of outside influences. I'm not going to say get in the way, because that's not the perspective. Without being able to really stand in my power completely. That's
Nice.
really what it was about, without distractions.
Nice.
Those distractions were necessary for that time in my life.
Yeah.
Right now, the distraction is maybe me and being able to get out there and,
Nice.
and working with my ideal client.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. How about you, Rosie? What have you been shifting inside or out in today's world to create more profitability
Yeah.
present?
It's really the follow up and follow through.
Nice.
Where I watch, like when people come in through my program, really watch them and ask them, like, how can I help you when I see they're not getting done or they're not
Nice.
able to finish? How can I help you? How do we get you to the finish line? Here's to what Leisa was saying, I actually created here's my menu. Here's the things that I can do for you. What do you want me to take off your plate?
Nice.
So it's really a customized experience that I offer, because I think of, like, okay, here's the end results. Like, how are we going to get you there? What has to happen?
Love that.
Yeah.
I agree. I think customization is the missing link for almost anyone who's not creating the momentum and the income and the impact that they want, the sustainability, the repeatability, because there are so many distractions. And what's working is shifting sand under our feet right now. And so having that enough high level strategic, and I say internal, emotional, creative energy support to customize the pieces that are most aligned with you, and being able to be fleet on our feet and really shift and adapt as we go.
Yeah, because I think that we sometimes would assume, oh, well, they know what we do, or they're not we can make up all kinds of stories, but unless you ask and offer and say, I know you want this, what can we do to get you there? Then it's just a simple conversation. It's like, all I want to do is get you there. You want to get there. I want to get you there. So how do we do it? It's like,
I love that.
It's been like a much nicer experience too, because
it makes running the business more fun when your people are getting the real results, right? And not having someone ask the right questions or notice that you're struggling is often another thing that I see people really challenged by. And often we think it's our fault. I see people thinking, well, I tried that, it didn't work for me, or I couldn't do that, when they just needed somebody to be asking the right questions. One example is questions. One of the example is like somebody's, signing up for a webinar program without reverse engineering and getting stalled out, in this program, trying to get this webinar right, with nobody asking them, like, what's the point? Where do you want to go? And so I think more and more that customization and having enough of the right support is the elixir that's really helping. And I think we all need it at every level of success. It's like, who's my mentor that's going to help do for me what I help my clients do? So I love that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Virginia, how about you? Specific internal or strategic shift that you've been implementing, expanding visibility, or that helped you at first to go from visibility to profitability?
Well, I love what you were talking about, customization. That's certainly a big key to the work that I do. But I start everything now from the standpoint of having an inspired vision.
Yes.
Getting really inspired and getting a clear vision as to the desired outcome, where the path is leading me. And once you have that, you certainly can guide others and customize their path as well. I actually have worked on something I find really helpful for my clients, and it's called the 3-tiered revenue roadmap.
Nice.
Now, everyone's approach is a little different. Their roadmap's going to be different. But with the 3-tier process, you can start to realize you have so much to offer, and there's just there's a variety of ways to get it out there. But what you need to do is put that roadmap into some specific steps with goals within each step to get there. So start with the inspired vision and then give them the steps they need to get there. And that's what'll, along with the customization, will get them to accomplish it.
I love that. You know what? I think so I often talk because I have my background in singing. I'm the singer who couldn't sing, but I can now. And that inspiration is a breath in. It's something we receive. And if we're so busy doing, thinking, we can't receive. And so that pause and that emphasis on we do everything in inspired right action here. You cannot be inspired if you don't stop and take a breath and tune in and ask yourself the question, right? The question of like, what am I working so hard for? What do I really want to create? What's really working? And what am I just doing because I've set this freight train in motion and I can't slow it down? Anyone else want to weigh in on this particular question or any other insights pop for you guys? No. All right. Thank you. That was great. So how do you decide? I'm going to go in the reverse order just to mix it up. So you're up next, Virginia. How do you decide where and when and how you're going to show up without trying to be everywhere and burning out and getting frustrated? Virginia, you get to go first this time. I'm flipping it up.
I get back to inspired vision.
Nice.
And that really means get out of my head. Every time I try to logically figure something out, it's probably going to steer me in the wrong direction unless it's connected to my heart. So I really try to tune into the vibration, the energy, the feeling of expansion that comes from my heart. And that's what guides me to the next step. And we all do this, I know, but there is a tendency to try to overthink things.
Yes.
And that's when I tend to get into trouble. So bring it back.
I think
here.
there's a chronic epidemic of overthinking. To be bold. And I love that, when we're tuned in, when we allow that breath, then we can trust our logic. And it really doesn't matter what we do. We can be in the flow. So that's beautiful, Virginia.
Yes.
Thank you. Rosie, what will you add?
Well, kind of coming off of that, I would say that like
we can talk about this all day.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't like doing anything I don't love to do, which when it comes to social media, that gets a little, but I love video. I love editing. I'm good at video. So I stay in that lane of like, that's how my posts are, videos. And
check out Rosie's Instagram. Her videos are badass. Excuse my language. They're awesome.
Thank you. But yeah, so then I stick to like 2 platforms and I don't go like, I don't say I got over having to be everywhere all at once and throwing stuff all over. I'm like,
spaghetti at the
and I
wall.
have to still talk myself into like, slow down, calm down. What's the one step? What's the one next thing you're doing right now? And sometimes it's just like, I have so much going on. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to edit a video. But then that leads me to the next thing because I just like love it. And then I feel better. And then I, so it's like really taking care of me and like what I love because like, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately,
you just hit on a really powerful, practical tool. In a couple of ways. Take a break, slow your roll, and then do one thing that you love. Virginia's talking about energy. We're all talking about energy here, right? And if you can like slow your roll enough to ask the right questions or find someone to help you figure out the right questions, but then take a minute. And do something you love. All of a sudden, your whole energetic presence rises. You feel calm and clear, and then you can focus on that next thing. Beautiful, Rosie. Right. Thank you. Love that. How about you, Terry?
Well, feeding off of Ginny and with Rosie, it's all about trusting your gut and what feels good. And we're talking about being online. Honestly, I have a great LinkedIn presence. However, it feels heavy to me. Instagram drives me to distraction. I look at that and my brain just goes, oh, okay. Facebook has always felt like home. So when you listen to how you feel when you're on these different platforms, it says a lot about where you are meant to be versus forcing it. And a lot of us have this tendency, entrepreneurs, we need to be everywhere. Baloney, we don't need to be everywhere. We need to streamline where we want to go, where we want to be, and do what feels right. And, I have colleagues who live on Twitter. Okay, live on Twitter. I have somebody else who's on Threads, and they love Threads. I can't be bothered with those two. I want to stay in what feels good, and that's Facebook. And the burning out thing, and it's part of my gift, by the way, with
Oh, yeah,
this.
we do have some gifts in
Yes, we
store
do
for
have
you
some
guys.
gifts. So I have the quick shift technique, and that is part of the giveaway, Activate Your Inner CEO. And it is about the pause. It is about connecting the brain and the head with the brain and the heart. Because when you connect the brain and the head with the brain and the heart, you're creating coherence. And when you create coherence, you're connected to that heart space, and that heart spreads out 360 degrees circumference, 6 to 10 feet away from the body. So your computer is in front of you, and that's 6 to 10 feet. The goal is to be online where it feels good.
Nice. Love that. So good. Absolutely. Leisa, what will you add to bring it home on this topic?
Two main things. One is, what are my personal boundaries around how much work I'm doing? Like whether it's,
Nice.
the days or the times, and when am I willing to take a meeting? When am I not? What am I blocking off my calendar? Sometimes people, I think, have way too much availability in the sense of like, well, what if they want to meet with me? And I'm like, well, to me, I make that window
Boundaries.
smaller so that I can give back to myself on the times that I don't have things on my calendar.
Yes.
But I'll even go like a little bit of the shadow side of this, because we've talked a lot about vision and our intuitiveness, which all feels yummy to me. And then there's times where my mind's not quite, that pure, right? I'll make you raise your hand.
You got to get some stuff done.
Well, so I call it, we run it through Leisa herself and I run it through the resentment filter. Like if I get asked to do something and I go, how irritated am I going to be if I do this thing outside of my boundaries? I say yes to it and it results in nothing. Am I going to be real grouchy pants? Or am I going to be like, no, I'm totally fine and clean with that. So that's a nice, like real quick test I can give myself when I'm in that, like, oh, it's tempting. Should I not? And then I can go, oh yeah, I'd be really upset. Then I'm like, it's a no. Or gosh, I would love to try out this new thing. That sounds super exciting. I would be delighted even if nothing happened. So that's another one of my litmus tests that I'll do.
Great practical step right there. I love that, the way that you've applied that. So you guys, I'm going to ask you each for we've had this great combo. We're talking about profitable presence. One, actionable tip like Lisa's shared just now. What's one actionable tip that you have in the gift that you're contributing, something that they're going to walk away from, or an actionable tip that you could share for people still here watching or coming back to catch this replay, in terms of the gift that you guys have all generously contributed to the Profitable Presence Power Pack. Leisa, you want to jump in?
Sure. My tip, or my gift that I'm offering, is the 5 top tips to get more speaking gigs now. What I have found is that when I meet someone who is a speaker, who identifies as a speaker, the one thing they all have in common is that they want to speak more often. Why? Nice. Because it's fulfilling. It's like the drug-free drug, it's just, it's so exciting to be able to help people with your gifts. So in there's some more tips, and I'll even give you a little hint on the first one.
Sneak peeks.
And that is a little tidbit, because you're here live and you're watching, and so you get extra stuff.
Yeah.
And the first tip is get your talk ready to rock. A lot of times I'll work with people who want to be a speaker, and I'm like, okay, well, great. What do you speak about? And they're like,
so many things.
I can speak about everything. I'm like, no, you can't. So we need to put our stake in the ground and decide what is it that we're going to be speaking about.
Brilliant. Decide. Always a great, brilliant first step. I love that. All right. How about you, Terry? What's an actionable tip, and what are you sharing in the Profitable Presence Power Pack?
I am sharing Activate Your Inner CEO and Make Great Decisions.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And it is a little system that includes mind mapping, and which works with the stress management tool, the quick shift that I was talking about, and to be able to work with it from the practical head and the heart side. And I love teaching it. It's
so
very
the gift will help us to put those two things together.
Absolutely.
And help us to see
It'll be both. Yes.
What action? How could we can take that action and actually how to do that? That's cool. You were going to say?
And that's exactly right. And so you have the practical mind map, the heart-centered mind map, and then you bring it all together and you look at it going, ooh, I didn't realize
there I am.
about this side of everything. And it's so much fun to see how people respond to it when they do it. And the quick shift is about stress management. So they're getting stress management, decision making, which helps them to communicate better and lead better because they're clear on what it is that they need to make decisions on. And I added another little package, another little e-guide to it, which is using those tools in the 7 areas of life.
Oh, nice. Very juicy. Thank you, guys. Awesome. How about you, Rosie? An actionable tip, and tell us about your gift.
All right. There's always more than one way to do something. So people get stuck on this is the only way to do it and everyone else is doing it. So my giveaway is getting published and establishing yourself with your authority without having to write a single chapter or without having to write a book. Because there is another way, a really fun way that will get you all the things that writing a book will get you. And I even could argue even more. And you're just going to do it different and you're going to stand yourself out from the crowd.
Wonderful. And when we're having fun creating,
that
our energetic presence is infused in every image, every moment, every word, every card. So
how much fun do we have, Cherry?
Oh my gosh.
We were putting her on the spot there, but she kept saying, "No, you having fun?" And I already
heard how much fun she had. So yeah.
And let me tell you, it was 9 months. 9 months attached at the hip.
So good. And when we're having fun, our energetic presence, our literal frequency, we're all broadcasting. Our energetic presence is bigger. So we might be in line at the grocery store selling things. We might be online selling things. Right? Because if you have the system, it's reverse engineered. So you know what you're offering and you know how you're creating revenue in your business and you have the words and the confidence and the clarity, then you're broadcasting and you're receiving. So that is, to me, profitable presence. So good. Virginia, take us home. What are you sharing with us and what is the actionable tip for you can add? I know you've got a million of them. So
I'm going to start with the actionable tip.
Great.
And you know all about this. It is open yourself to the possibilities of how many ways can I leverage what I'm doing.
Yes.
And my gift to everyone is the AI marketing guide to build instant authority speaking online. One of the ways you can leverage your time, your creativity is to use AI and then make sure that it's still infused with your authentic voice.
Yes.
But if you're not using AI in your business right now, you're going to be left behind. It's here. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
So start embracing it and use it as a form of leverage. You'll be much more productive. It will actually help boost your creativity and help you connect with people on a deeper level. That's what I've found.
100%.
So my guide is 5 key steps. So all using AI to help you build authority speaking online and then attract, of course, more clients as a result. They're going to love the steps. It's one of my marketing maps. You know,
Yay. Her marketing maps are amazing, guys.
Step by step. Yes.
That's fantastic. You guys, thank you, ladies, so much for being here today. If you have a one-word takeaway or a final thought that you'd want people, especially for those who have stuck it out here and really listened and taken all the value that you guys have brought forward today, just to close out our panel for the day, what would you like to have people know is possible for them or take away and do right away after listening to our panel today? Got a minute? Invoke. Who'd like to go first?
I can go.
Great.
I forgot I wasn't even on mute. I was like, I can go. All right. One thing that I think oftentimes people dream about is becoming a speaker, but then they instantly get stopped because probably years have been going by where they've gotten tampered down. Like, you can't do that. You're not going to be able to do that. No one can make a living. Whatever things that have shut down that part of them. And I'm here to say, if you're waiting for permission or you needed someone to say you can do it, today is the day. Consider your letter is in the mail, because there is
Love it.
there's no boundary on that. I've had clients in their 80s. I've had clients in their 20s. It is, if you have a message to share and you feel compelled to share it, there's a reason why. It doesn't, not everybody gets tapped for that. So listen and you can do it.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Because your calling won't quit. Your dream will keep knocking. I love it. Terry, I want to jump in. Anybody else or which?
Sure.
Yeah, I can jump in.
Okay, great, Virginia.
Good,
Thank
Jenny.
you.
I just want to say it this way. Be, do, have.
Nice.
Be in your own inspired vision. Start there. Do. Take uncomfortable action and stretch beyond your normal boundaries, and have the life that you dreamed of.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. Who's next? Terry?
Okay, I'll go next. Trust your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
That gut piece, trust it completely, and fall in love with your inner power, your products, and your services. Because when you're in love with all of it, energetically, it's going to attract everything that you desire to you.
Love it. Beautiful. Thank you. All right, Miss Rosie, take us out.
All right. There's two places you could be. You could be in fear or you can be in faith. So you get to choose at every moment. And so only one of them is going to get you somewhere. Well, they're both going to get you somewhere, but only one of them is going to get you where you want to go. So like I actually do this exercise where I stand up. I like draw an imaginary line and I'm like, okay, where am I right now? Oh, I am in fear. I'm going to just step over the line over here. And I let go of that and I stand over there. So
beautiful.
Yeah, that's
so good. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being a part of this panel. Thank you for being the brave, courageous, bold, visionary entrepreneurs that you are, and for being so generous and sharing what I think we really all benefit from and the world needs so much. So for my 10 cents to wrap it up is that, listen to these smart ladies, get the tools and resources and the support that you need to have a customized, implementable plan, and go all in, go big, go past the edges of your comfort zone, run into the fog of your fear, and it will dissipate. And the world is hammering and hankering for transformation, expansion, and clarity. And the one thing each of you can do, and all of these ladies here are doing to further that positive expansion, is showing up and sharing your voice and sharing your message. So ladies, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. We'll make sure that there's a link to the giveaway. If you felt some resonance with one of these amazing visionary women, go check them out. The gifts are all available inside the Profitable Presence Power Pack for a limited time. Get the gifts that are really going to help you move the needle, that you get that gut check that Terry was talking about, and then do them. And if they work, call the person who made them and find out how they can support you, and be brave, be bold, be courageous. And, holding back has a cost, and it's just time for us all to play all in and really share in the biggest possible way. Ladies, thanks for being here. Everybody wave goodbye, and we'll see you in the next panel on Thursday. Tune back in. Until then, go check out the gifts in the Profitable Presence Power Pack, and we'll see you inside.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.